Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
It's sensational Sunday time here in LaGrange, Georgia, as we bring you more coverage of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division action. It's Legends FC versus Kalonji Pro Profile, and it's near next on ASMG TV. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Atlantic Soccer Media Group's continuous coverage of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division Spring Season, Week 7, Legends FC versus Kalonji Pro Profile. And we are here on the campus of LaGrange College down here in LaGrange, Georgia at Callaway Stadium for this matchup. Larry, we were going to get you all caught up for this match. Before we kick it off, Danny Catula will bring you the play-by-play. Let's talk about where we're at and where we're going to be. It's a beautiful 80 degrees down here in LaGrange, 11-mile-an-hour winds. Absolutely exquisite day on this Sunday. We look at where we're at so far in the fixtures this week. You can see that yesterday FC Atlanta was able to defeat North Georgia United 5-3. A little bit of controversy in that match at halftime. That's something that we'll be able to cover you later in the week on ASMG YouTube channel. So look forward to that. Atlanta United Academy defeated Georgia Revolution 3-1 at home. The Dalton United SSL match was postponed. Last night, a very, very crazy game. Atlanta City FC versus UMA FC. UMA going up 3-0. And then after the 70th minute, Atlanta City FC turned it on, scored 3 unanswered goals, then a goal scored in the 96th minute due to a penalty. A little bit of controversy as well. We'll give you some information more on that as the week goes along. So that match ended 4-3 in UMA's favor. Today, 3 o'clock, Legends FC versus Kalonji Pro Profile. We should be kicking off right now. Unfortunately, not able to kick off just yet. We have some travel issues with Kalonji Pro Profile. They are trying to get here in time to be able to meet the 3:15 kickoff. So we will see if they're able to do that here within the next 10 minutes. Georgia Athletic and FC Birmingham, they kick off at 4 o'clock. That match will be on demand on ASMG's YouTube channel. So check in here very soon and you'll see all that matchup on our YouTube channel. That being said, we're going to bring in Danny Catula. I want to talk about what exactly is going on right now here with this delay. So Danny, the coach for Kalonji Profile was in an accident on the way down here to Grange coming from Atlanta, is behind. He has all of the gear that they need for Kalonji to be able to play this match. By the rules at 3:15, if they're not here to field the players, it will be a forfeit.
Yeah, that's right, Larry. And well, thanks for having me in. First of all, we're really looking forward to this match if it is the case that we can get it into compelling teams and storylines everywhere as they have been across the week. It's been great football across the division. But when you look at the situation, it's kind of classic to lower division soccer, to amateur, semi-professional soccer, of course, that we are at this level, where sometimes a coach is also the kit man. He's also the transporter. There's so much at play with so few people involved that things like this can take place. And I think you can look at the situation as a neutral and say, well, why can't we just delay the match a little longer and make sure everybody gets in and has their kits and are ready to play? We would rather play a full 90-minute match today. But at the same time, these are adults, they're people with full time jobs. This is amateur football. And so the players who are here from Legends and really from Kalonji too have their own commitments. It's not so simple as just being able to delay a start time. So the rules are there for a reason, Larry. And this is the type of situation where it's nobody's fault, but they do come into play. So obviously, the most compelling part of this for now is whether we play this match today or whether it gets postponed. We'll be able to keep you updated on that as we get closer to that 3:15 deadline. But in the meantime, Larry, what a week of football we have had. Just yesterday gave us two thrillers. Trying to do the math here, 15 goals in the two matches. We had the 5-3 match that I was able to be a part of, our Spanish commentary in the early game, and then the nightcap was a fantastic one, as you mentioned, the 4-3 finish on the stoppage time penalty. What stood out to you?
Definitely what stood out was you have to feel for North Georgia United because they've been down at the table. We'll look at the table once again. They're down at the table, no points. They have been struggling all season to produce something. And they went up quickly on FC Atlanta. And then all of a sudden, FC Atlanta woke up and scored those three unanswered goals. And then they started to come back in that second half. There's a little bit of controversy in regards to a red card that was issued off the field after halftime and the allowance of a player on the field when they shouldn't have been. That's all going to get worked out with paperwork and all that stuff. We'll see how that is handled in the coming days. But really, the one that really sticks out to me is late game, that Atlanta City versus UMAFC. UMA for those first 45 minutes dictated the complete pace of the game. Atlanta City had nothing for them. You have to remember their main striker Thierry Jules has been suspended, and get this, Danny, 14 games.
That's an outrageous amount.
It's it to me too. I think the rules committee is possibly going to modify that. They're probably going to bring it down a little bit, but still, he's going to be red carded for an allotted amount of time.
Wow.
So, and then they didn't have any real firepower on the pitch, and UMA. They scored three goals. They were completely in hand. And then about the 70th minute, Coach Joao brung on Arroyo, and that completely changed the game. And they were able to get three goals back, get it to 3-3, a draw. We're in stoppage time, and a late penalty in the 96th minute that afterwards was deemed to be an unnecessary penalty. It clearly hit the player's chest. The center official called it a handball. You have to remember what you were talking about, Danny. Not only are the players developing, but off of the referees, mistakes happen.
Yeah, indeed they do. And in this case, it's maybe a mistake that you can look back and say could have an effect on the final table. But those 3 points, just in general, that performance, you look at where UMA sit, they're currently joint top, they're third on goal difference. But even in points with league leaders Dalton United, 3 points less, and they're sitting at 10, tied for fourth, and that's also where Atlanta City would be. So that's two teams separated by 6 places in the table, who, if that singular match would have gone the other way, would be level on points. That's exactly how tight of a table we have this season. And Atlanta City, don't forget, if Coach Joao rings a bell, is led by that same Coach Joao who was the league champion with Jinga Atlanta many years ago and national champion. Oh,
That's Georgia FC. Atlanta
just
City is Joao Johanning.
ah, a different
Uh,
one then.
but you have to remember Atlanta City FC is the team that came out of nowhere. They had to
That's what I was
win
going to
to get
mention
into
as
the
well.
playoffs in the
Last year,
fall.
they were the underdogs and the Cinderella story, maybe, of the nation a season ago. Made their way into the national playoffs, represented the Georgia division quite well, and eventually lost out to a team that found their way into the Final Four. And that was all as the final seed. They just kind of snuck into the playoffs, and that's something I think all these teams here in mid-table will have on their minds. Not only can they grab one of those top spots and find their way into the playoffs. But once they do, they'll look at that story last year and think, well, we have a real shot at winning this entire thing, even as one of those final allotted teams.
And I think they got the little bit of bad end of the stick when you look at the national playoffs. They go into the round of 32. They have to play St. Louis City Academy, the newly entered player team that was in the Kentucky Tennessee division, and they played that game in St. Louis. So Coach Joao had to bus all of his players from here to Atlanta all the way to St. Louis to play that match. And for the worst of the wear, they came out the losers. That's two seasons in a row in 2023 that both of the Georgia teams were knocked out in that round of 32.
Yeah, that's right. I do want to see, Larry, if we can go back to the issue at hand, which is we're trying to figure out if we can get this game in. From what I understand, Larry, it doesn't look particularly promising. We are looking at 3 minutes to 3:15 now, and I'm being told that it's unlikely that things are going to change and that we are going to have a match today.
Yes, it's very unlikely. Unable to locate the proper jerseys for Kalonji Pro Profile in time. And I expect that this game is going to end up as a forfeit for Kalonji Pro Profile, which
Yeah,
for
and just
Legends FC, this is a massive result for them. It's not their fault. It's not their team's fault. It's not their players' fault that their opponent is not here and ready to go.
Well, and I do want to take a look at that table again, if we can, Larry, and see exactly what this means. Because again, this is not an actual will be postponed, rescheduled. It'll be 3 points that go to Legends. It'll officially go as a no-show and a 3-0 victory, if I understand the league rules correctly. I have already made a mistake earlier today, so correct me on that if I'm wrong, Larry. Apologies for that earlier on. But Legends would go to 10 points, and they would find their way to fifth, just two below Georgia Revolution in fourth. They would be in that playoff zone. Still plenty of weeks, plenty of football to be played. But Legends, I mean, that's quite a jump on just one single forfeit victory. 3 points means a whole lot in that mid table right now.
Absolutely. If this game is officially terminated, what we're going to see is not only would Legends FC get the 3 points, Kalonji would also be deducted points as well as a fine, a heavy fine, if this is not seen out.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the type of conversation that I know will extend well beyond the final 2 minutes that we're going to wait and hold out hope to see if we can get a football match in today. And that's why you got to follow ASMG, not only here on ASMG TV, but on the podcast series that ASMG is putting out week to week. These are the types of conversations that are had in more full detail with all the experts who know the ins and outs. Larry, you're one of those. So it's a shameless plug for that side of things. But that's, I mean, this usually, I think, in a normal week, which there's hardly a normal week in the UPSL, but in a typical week, this would be probably the highlight of controversy for the weekend. I think this is maybe the third most controversial we've seen this weekend. It just goes to show exactly how action packed and surprising twists and turns, how many of those we can have in just 2 games.
And another update for you just now, just getting word that we are going to get this game off. Kalonji Pro Profile have enough that they are going to be able to get this off.
Well, that's fantastic news. So, folks, we're going to have a football match this Sunday afternoon, a little bit delayed. But how about that? It's exactly 3:15, and we get the word in. So, no forfeit. Legends are going to have to earn it on the pitch. From the way you said that, Larry, I'm wondering, do they have 11 jerseys? I'm assuming they have 11 players, but are they going to be able to play full strength?
From what I'm hearing, they have enough to do 11. They're going to basically what they're doing is they're using practice jerseys that have numbers on them. So they will, Kalonji will probably get faced a fine because they don't have proper gear, but we'll be able to get this game started.
Well, that's what matters to us this afternoon as neutrals. And for Kalonji, they'll much prefer that to still having to pay a fine and losing the match on a forfeit. So we'll play at full strength with both sides. Kalonji will be in those all-white practice uniforms and in the powder blue kits, the home side here in LaGrange. It is Legends FC. Hopefully that's enough of a build-up for you for our Saturday afternoon matinee performance.
Or
It's Legends
should
and Kalonji.
say Sunday.
That's I guess so. It is an 80-degree day in LaGrange. It is shaping up to be a pretty great day here in LaGrange. We can give you the starting 11 for Legends. We don't have it yet for Kalonji, and again, normally the source that we would get it from is the same source that would have had jerseys and would have allowed us to start on time and with significantly less drama. But we will go ahead and give you the Legends 11 while we can. In goal is Jacob Boyd wearing the 48. The back line consists of Chris Remili, Suka, Jacob Ilmer, and Tomas Calado. In midfield, it's a 4-2-3-1 look, so 5 in that midfield. Austin Anderson, Adrian Burgos, Ivan Vital, Arturo Ramos, and Griffin Montroy are those 5 in the center of the park. Simon Nix wears the 13, and he will occupy the number 9 position today. Anybody that stands out there to you? 4-2-3-1 is pretty versatile for me, Larry. It can look like a lot of different things. Tactically, it doesn't tell you too much about how Legends will come after this match, but maybe some of those personnel tell us more of a story.
Definitely want to keep my eye on Jacob Boyd, number 48 for Legends, the starting forward. Need to see some progress out of him. Need to see some shots on goal, see if they can come out. You can see that this team completely different than what they were last season. Almost no one in that starting 11 is were here in the fall season.
Yeah, it's a lot of changes in this lineup. Boyd, an important part of that, and I would imagine that we are headed for the national anthem. We will take a quick break and come back. We get things started a little bit delayed on the other side of this break. Okay, well, it looks like we've got it all sorted. The national anthem is complete, and that means at long last we are just moments away. Legends FC hosting Kalonji Pro Profile. It's the old guard in Kalonji facing a mostly new look Legends team that's probably playing the best that they have played since they entered the Premier Division in UPSL Georgia a couple of seasons ago. They've just barely survived, Larry, over the past couple of years. And for the first time, it feels like they are within reach of a playoff spot and really contending at the top half of this division.
Absolutely, and today is going to be a challenge because you look at that Kalonji Pro Profile team and you see the likes of Tony Tiente, Anthony Sumo, Grant Carr, Ibra. You got Henry Pleites in goal. So they've got all the firepower here today. And this is a team that has a lot of experience. Several of those players playing at the next level. Now they're back down here for Kalonji Pro Profile. This is not going to be an easy game for FC.
That's right, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, they were assuming that this would not be played in the first place, so the mentality could come into question as well. But we are just about ready to get things going. Once again, it's Legends here at home in LaGrange, moving from right to left on your screen in this first half in the light blues. And in the all white is Kalonji Pro Profile. We do know Henry Pleites is in goal, and as you mentioned, Larry, a few of the stars are visible. We don't have the full lineup, the 11, so we will do the best we can with what we have. And we are glad you are here with us for the ride. Expect the unexpected today. I think that's the motto, as Legends will be the ones to get things going in this first half. And just to correct something I said earlier, I had the starting 11 in the opposite order. So Simon Nix is the goalkeeper. Jacob Boyd, who was mentioned, is the striker. And he gets us going. Underway, the ball is rolling in LaGrange. And it's Kalonji Pro Profile trying to get an important 3 points in the title race against Legends FC. We're trying to find their way into playoff position. An early touch forward for Sukai. He'll move it out to the right wing. And there's some space here, a bit of contact, and it will be rewarded with a free kick. Adjudicated to be a foul, nothing more. And a fairly dangerous position here, Larry, especially 30 seconds in.
Right off the bat, getting a much needed opportunity for Legends FC. We'll see what they can do. You can look at this replay here, moving up that far side, and just a little bit of a clip from behind that results in this chance.
And we'll see exactly how they decide to attack this. A type of angle that makes you think it'll be a cross, but instead it's got at goal. Henry Pleites is equal to it. Long serving veteran of this Kalonji team.
Able to grab that right on the line.
And so now it's possession for Kalonji for the moment. We'll see what they're able to offer. It's a team that has quality all across the board, but especially in attack is where they tend to be dangerous. They get forward quickly. They can lull you to sleep with possession in their own end and get forward and really cause problems. Also a team that can pose a threat in the counterattack. Blistering pace. Makes it difficult for opposing defenses. They're on the ball again here. And this is the type of thing you'll see, Larry. They'll take their time and try to pick their moment. Once they do decide to go forward, it is an absolute swarm.
Kalonji Pro Profile, they have that same methodical style they always do, but they will swarm on you when it comes to defense.
Early possession for the boys in white. And again, they are not only without their typical jerseys, they're also without their head coach. So we'll see tactically if anything changes. This is probably the team that would be least affected by that, as their head coach has absolutely instilled the club's culture, their tactics, the way they conduct themselves in this team. There's a lot of veterans who have been around this club for a very long time. Of course, you always want to have your coach around, but these guys know what to do better than just about anybody in the league. Here's a good ball through, offside potentially, and the flag will go up after a bit of a delay. It did seem like the right decision. Not a bad through ball in any case. So a bit of a scary moment for Legends. Those are the types of situations where Kalonji thrive. Legends will have to limit those as much as possible. And they'd like to have a bit more of the ball. This could be a chance to create something. Ramili will play it out wide, and I think the intention was to find Jacob Ilmer out there on the right, but didn't pan out that way. And every missed attack is just another chance for Kalonji to stamp their impression, their style, and their pace of football on this game. They have the control when they're in possession, and Legends, not a whole lot they can do about it. They don't tend to be a team that likes to press, and now over the top, let's see what Kalonji can offer down this right side. The cross coming from here. A bit more of a cutback, and it didn't quite pan out. But Kalonji immediately win the ball back. There's that swarm defensively that you mentioned, Larry. They get back on the ball quickly, and they're right back to this possessive work.
And really, when it comes to Kalonji profile, the only player that they are missing is Patrick Okonkwo, now that he is playing for Georgia FC in the NISA soccer division.
Yeah, a few players from the Premier Division and UPSL who have made the move up to the NISA side, playing in the northern part of the Atlanta Metro. Here's a nice ball through, and it'll just be a little long. And happily claimed by Simon Nix, who is in goal today. He will throw it out, bypassing Ivan Vital, and instead it finds Adrian Burgos. Burgos plays it forward. A couple of nice passes, and Legends are quickly into the attacking third. From the right wing, a cross, and there were two players to aim at. Neither one of them was able to link up with the cross from deep. And instead, Kalonji have it right back. This is a scenario we will see for 90 minutes, Larry. This is what Kalonji like to do. And it's, I think, somewhat unique. Anybody in the league, anybody in any league, I think, would be happy to have possession and to control the proceedings, to get to have their say on how this match goes, have control of the ball. You always want that. But the way that Kalonji do it and exactly how quickly they can transition, kind of flip that switch from possession to attack, it's unmatched. And how about this? A long effort has caught the keeper off guard. And it's 1-0 out of absolutely nothing. The boys with the practice tops on. With a goal from the training ground, it's 1-0.
And Danny, take a look at this. This is Tony Tiente at his best, the former Atlanta United 2 player. He takes a rip right at center circle and completely catches the keeper off guard, and it's 1-0 to the visitors.
Well, we know Kalonji can score from about anywhere on the pitch and in just about any fashion, but I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card for the opener. 1-0 Kalonji from the midfield circle from Tony Tiense, one of the bigger names in a team full of names who have played at the professional level. A couple of players who have been on the books with Atlanta United. I mentioned Patrick Okonkwo, who is now playing professionally with Georgia FC. Tony Tiente has the opener. In fantastic fashion as well. You just get that kind of half look up, Larry.
I was going to say, Danny, normally you will see with Kalonji profile, they're going to try to get the ball to Anthony Sumo. He's going to bounce from either side of the wing, whether he'll start on the right, but he'll move to the left to where his natural left foot is. But generally, Kalonji's going to try to get that ball to Anthony Sumo.
Well, that'll be the plan. See how it materializes. And maybe it wasn't the type of goal they planned for, but they'll certainly take the scoreline as it stands. 8th minute and it's Kalonji 1, Legends 0. Here's a switch of play that looks pretty promising. Couple of bounces, and looks like a high kick is what the center referee has decided on.
Offsides.
Offside, and well, in the end, it's about the same result.
That's the same result, yeah.
Indirect free kick in either case. So a free kick to come for Legends. And now the response from the home side will be important to observe. What can they offer, especially on the counterattack? Because in a sense, there's only so much you can do to break up Kalonji's possession, but the way that you respond when you do win the ball back in that 20-30% of the match where you do have the ball at your feet, how advantageous can you be? here on your home ground? That'll be the question that they must answer, the boys in blue. 9th minute of action. Kalonji with the 1-goal advantage. Thanks to the long-range effort from Tony Tiente. Legends lose out on possession. And that clearance was less than ideal, but it did end up finding a teammate, fairly fortunately. And Legends can come in the other direction now, breaking up this left side. Is there space to continue? There isn't quite. It's closed down rather well there on the right side and played back to Playtes. Kalonji can reset.
And Danny, recently in the fall division, Legend FC was able to defeat Kalonji here at Callaway Station 3-2.
One of their better results across the fall season in 2023. And could a second goal come from this? A good cut inside and partially affected there by some solid defending in the center of the box. Arturo Ramos was in the area. Simon Nix is able to claim that one. It was fairly straightforward for him in the end.
And that is what Sumo is going to try to do. He's going to try to come in from the right, move into middle of the pitch, and try to take that with his left.
Kalonji again in control in their own half. And they will play it back and forth in this area as long as it takes for them to find an opening further forward. And interesting to see exactly how little Legends are interested in pressing forward and kind of forcing the issue. They're content to let Kalonji do this. And of course, it's very early on in this match, but as things progress, time will be more and more on their side if this result continues the way that it's going now. Another touch for Tiente. This is where he scored from for the opener. The difference between the two sides so far, and a poor touch has Legends on the ball again. They give it away just as rapidly. And Kalonji, well, they don't do much countering, do they? They take their time, and now they'll try and get forward. It was a good idea to send it into the center, but a little bit too much on it. And it falls all the way through to Nix.
And you can see, Danny, that's almost what Legends FC's entire strategy is catch them on the counter.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not even really trying to pressure them into a mistake. It's allowing them to get forward, have their opportunity in front of goal, and see if they can't grab a tackle in the defensive half and just go quickly. Wow, they tried another one. And that sure would have been something. 2 in a row from that sort of distance. This time, Nix was a little more prepared. As a goalkeeper, he will have that first goal replaying in his mind over and over again. It'll be tough to try to get another one on him. It was an effort on target as well, though, Larry. If it wasn't for Nix being there, it would have been a second one.
Definitely so. Keeping him honest.
Legends now the other direction. You saw the intent there. Jacob Boyd with some hold-up play. Looking for the run of Austin Anderson. Instead intercepted. Kalonji crossing midfield. Switching the play. It's so fluid from them at the moment. They've got all the space that they could ask for. A dispossession, and it stays with Kalonji up the line. A throw in to come.
And it's one of those things to think, Danny, could it be that the delay has taken Legends FC off of their cycle, off of how they had this planned out?
Yeah, entirely possible. And I remember my playing days weren't particularly impressive, but whenever I was on the pitch myself, there's something about having to psych yourself up for a match and prepare yourself mentally, emotionally. And when you've kind of got it in the back of your mind that the match won't happen, and all of a sudden it's no, wait, we've got to switch on again. It can be a difficult thing to wrap your mind around and to get yourself in the right headspace. Maybe more difficult than you would think. And so now in the 14th minute, a chance for Kalonji to double their advantage. It's the first corner kick of this match. It'll come from the left. Legends, whatever the reasoning may be, are on the ropes a little bit. Ball sent to the back post. There's a header there. And it took a touch. Kalonji felt it might have been a graze off of a hand. The referee was in the area and said no. Oh, well, that's a clever clearance. Creative, maybe a bit risky, but it worked out. That's a bit dangerous from the center back to decide to go with the back of his boot and just flick it up to himself to clear it away, because he did have a player behind him if he were to make a mistake. No such worries, though. To minute 16 now, and another long ball. And I think the intent was to find Sumo, but instead it's fallen through. Still was in possession for Kalonji, and the switch of play on the cross a little bit long. And the run from the left was a little bit late. So a goal kick for Legends.
And Danny, we'll take a look at that corner that Kalonji had just a few moments ago. And you see as this comes in, right on that back post, they're trying to say that doesn't look like a handball to me. Deflects off of the defender.
Yeah, I don't think it's touched a hand in the end, and even if it has, that's one of those situations where it's controversial to call it just because it's so close. What were you really going to do to move your hand away? How about a shot in the other direction? It goes wide, but not by much. It's a matter of inches from the edge of the box. A solid effort falls just wide of that near post.
And that was a shot that came out of nowhere. Just puts his foot through it. And that went off the tips of Henry's hands, in my opinion. I thought that should have been a corner.
Well, it definitely had him scrambling at the very least. Tough to tell if it did make contact with Playtez's glove. But in any case, Kalonji get the benefit of the doubt, and Anthony Sumo has put his shoulder down and gone around 3 defenders all in one run. The move ends after some nice defending.
Anthony Sumo, one of those players, is really, really good at using his body to dictate his position on the pitch.
It was only that 4th challenger who was able to knock him off the ball successfully. Legends having trouble just hanging on at the moment. Again, it's his possession. It can be suffocating from Kalonji at times. Just make it so difficult. The Premier League comparison could be Manchester City, just in their style of play, the way that they knock the ball around, and that quality that they have in these sorts of areas. Well, a shot will go well away from the target in the end. Tried the half volley. Tough one to get right, but so much pace just all around the attack, and so they feel comfortable taking their time.
And you see here, Danny, just effortlessly coming up is the captain, Tachi, lifting it forward, just trying to catch that on the volley, and just doesn't get that in any way, shape, or form in the right fashion.
Yeah, you almost wonder if you could cross it from there, try to cut it back. Fashion, more likely, more probable chance at goal. On the right wing, not a whole lot doing over there for Ramili. He's been one of the more active players. I'd say it's been Ramili and Anderson early on the wings who have looked brightest for Legends. Boyd at times, the striker, using his frame to hold the play up as well. But it's really been few and far between early on for the home side here in LaGrange. Kalonji right back to work. A compelling through ball was defended well, but it took a hand from Ivan Vital. And so they will concede, Legends, a free kick from about 30 yards away.
Yeah, this time he's not going to get away with this handball. You see, as this ball sent forward, Chopa right just kind of deflects up into his arm. And this is a real opportunity for Kalonji.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you've got, what, 5 players there? And a few will go away. But certainly a multitude of players in this Kalonji team who can score from here.
I would expect Tiente to take this.
He scored from further away already. And the shot comes in, it's wide, and never really looked like curling towards goal in the end. Probably not the type of effort that Kalonji would expect or that would rise to their standard.
Not the distance that you really need to get that ball up and down. So he just tried to rip it through the laces and just didn't get it right here.
It was not what they were planning for from that sort of chance. So now Kalonji back in control of things. We'll see a throw in here for Legends. Not much doing down this right side. And so Kalonji will try and counter. Sumo from the right side cuts to the interior. And he'll switch it to the left wing. Sumo again. And is there anything on offer from here? Well, it was a good run and only stopped by a foul, so a free kick to come for the visitors. It's in a similar spot as last time, maybe 25, 30 yards maximum, Larry. Do they go with something different this time? Because a moment ago, they tried maybe the obvious choice and went for goal. It was nowhere close.
Yeah, this time I think you just need to loft it up and give an opportunity for someone to get ahead on it. You see, trying to move his way up is Chopa, and he's just kind of clipped from behind, going to earn that foul.
So here in the 22nd minute, approaching the midway point of the first 45, another chance from distance, but a scoreable distance, and this one has hit off of the football upright, off of a save. And so that will lead to another corner kick. That was the type of effort that Kalonji would have wanted the first time.
Yeah, much better opportunity that time.
And it was taken well. Simon Nix had to be aware, and he was at his right upper corner. He was on a date with the upper 90 otherwise, and a cross comes in. Back post, it was free, and Nix was out of position. If that header had found the target, it was clearly the second goal. Instead, it falls wide.
And Danny, we'll take a look at the free kick that led to that corner. And you see here, as they strike through it, right where he wanted to be that time.
Yeah, that's exactly where he wanted to place it. And that ensuing corner, Larry, just, a type of story that happens a lot. A great service, and the finish just wasn't quite there. Here come Legends the other way in the meantime. They've got numbers, and they'll try to switch the play. That was kind of where he was facing, so you understand the idea to try to play it out there, but he had numbers to his right.
And you look at the corner that just happened recently. Another good ball in from Tiente. Sumo just not getting that jump right.
Yeah, I think it's a timing issue. on that occasion, Larry. Absolutely right. Kalonji continue the quest to grab their second goal and add a bit of insurance. A move through that was a clever run. It was cut out nicely by Legends defensively, but another cross will come in. And once again, the defenders called upon. From the left side, played centrally and intercepted once more by Legends, who are up to the task on the defensive side of things. In the attack, they haven't created much quite yet. And when you look at the one goal that Kalonji have scored up to now, Larry, obviously it was not a freak accident of a goal. It was a very purposeful, beautiful finish. But from Legends' perspective, defensively, hard to fault their defensive unit for that. And other than that, they've defended quite well.
Yeah, you have to say that that was just a mistake by the keeper. Because, as a keeper, you're taught to cut your side of the pitch into thirds. And he was in the proper third where the ball was, just didn't expect Tiente to be able to put the ball on frame like he did.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think we're going to have a pause for a minute so to allow Kalonji Pro Profile to transform into the proper kits, as well as I think this might be a hydration break, kind of everything together in one.
Yeah, let's kill two birds with one stone. So we hit 25 minutes and a multi-purpose break, let's call it, as the players do get a bit of hydration. And we'll see if they're able to get their proper outfits on as well. Been an interesting start to this match in more ways than one.
Seeing if they were going to do it. I think it's just going to be just a straight hydration break.
Now, Larry, do you know if the coaching situation has been resolved? Is the coach for Kalonji on site quite yet?
I do not believe he is.
Yeah,
but I'll have to double check. We'll double check, but I don't believe he is.
So still waiting. And we do want to mention, I know we mentioned that there was a car accident involved that Bruno Kalonji, the head coach.
Or it's Coach Santino. Coach Santino is the one who coaches here for Kalonji Pro Profile in the UPSL.
That's right. So Coach Santino is okay. We know there's no injuries involved. So that's the good news there, but still waiting on him being able to arrive. And so we restart play. It seemed like Kalonji weren't quite ready necessarily for it. The Legends were, so they get us going again. And, well, didn't take much advantage of the extra preparedness. They've lost the ball almost immediately. Kalonji coming in the other direction, and a late decision is that it's gone over the touchline for a throw.
Yeah, I could see that it went over.
Missed touch from Calado. And here come Kalonji. Couple of headers. Solid control. Looked like a foul, and it was. I think the referee just waiting to see if any advantage could be afforded, and it could not. So, well, how about another one from 25 or 30 yards away, Larry? Round 3.
Yeah, giving Kalonji Pro Profile too many opportunities here to get this right. And that one just clipped from behind. Good call by the official, waiting to see if there was going to be an opportunity. Wasn't, and called the whistle.
Good refereeing from the center official today. And that will bring us, well, third time's a charm, they say. Another opportunity for Kalonji, and they are not the type of club that you want to give more than one crack at it. Brendan Dunavant is the center official today. He blows his whistle, and away comes another free kick. This one takes a touch off the wall, which does its job, and, well, it's another corner. And the services have not been the issue on corner kicks for Kalonji so far. Been that finishing touch. We'll see if they've got it this time around. Looks like a short option is there as well. They'll go direct. Back post. Oh, and again, the finish just isn't there. Couldn't quite find his feet on the opposite edge of the box, but there was certainly space to shoot. Legends maybe a bit lucky. And the throw goes up the line immediately, won back by Kalonji. That's been the story of the half. And this is another Kalonji throw. Both teams were claiming it belonged to them. I think the right decision's been reached in the end. Kalonji coming forward again. An errant pass, but it will only yield another throw for Kalonji as they continue to control the proceedings. Half an hour gone, and keep in mind there will be a little bit of extra stoppage time added in this first half due to the hydration break. We did eclipse the 80-degree mark about an hour back here. One of the southernmost locations for Georgia Premier Division soccer, and well, how about another free kick in that same area, Larry? It's a broken record.
It just appears that Legends FC are just not in sync today.
Well, and you could point to various reasons potentially why. It's an unorthodox sort of day. Kalonji with another chance to try and take advantage. I think you could say from a Kalonji perspective, they could have been more clinical and have built up more of a lead by this point. Another chance to extend the advantage here. This time it's indirect, it's a service, and the finish is once again not there. This one is actually going to go over the touch line rather than the goal line. That's how far away it was. They also say it took a touch off of Legends on its way. We'll see it again.
You look at this one. This time, trying a little bit of a work play and a header, late header by the Legends player, not to give Tachi a chance.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You saw it very clearly on the second look. It was a header away from Legends, not even a shot at all. Well defended. There's more defending to do. I'll try the switch of play, and it does find its targets. And this one has careened off of Kalonji last. Legends defend well once again, and they maintain just the 1-goal deficit. I think, Larry, when we come down the stretch of this match, if we still have a tight one, where this thing is turned on its head, which we've seen all weekend long and all season long, that can happen. I think they'll look back to this first half, Kalonji, and think, wow, we really should have scored more and should have been a bit more effective in front of goal. They have had their chances.
Yeah, when you look at Legends FC, they've only had one real shot on goal. The rest of the possession has been all Kalonji.
And that was pretty early on as well. It's been a while since Legends have had meaningful possession in the attacking half, much less in the attacking third, and maybe that could change now. Well, I've spoke too soon, it looks like, as Kalonji come back and win it back.
Yeah, he sent that ball in front of himself, and he couldn't run it down. The Kalonji player just outpaced him.
Yeah, that's such a difficult situation. You expect that when you're a defender, that you've got attackers in front of you who can outrun you. But as an attacker, when a defender can outrun you, that's not something you expect quite as often. These days, the center backs are sort of different animals. But typically, that's the advantage that an attacker has, is that even with the ball, a lot of times he can outrun the guy he's got to get around. And in Kalonji's case, some of their paciest players are on that back line, and it's hard to know what to do as an opposing attacker. A change of pace doesn't work when your fastest is not as fast as the guy next to you. Minute 34, and it remains Kalonji 1, Legends 0. As it stands, the 3 points would go back home with Kalonji, up to Atlanta. Boyd with a touch. He'll collect and funnel it forward. Defending needed to be done by Kalonji, and that will continue because now we'll see a throw-in. The ball had gone over the line just a moment prior. Maybe a golden chance for Legends to grab the leveler. And it goes headed away. And out of danger immediately. Kalonji right back on the ball, and they could press forward if they please. Well, that was the intent, but Legends defensively able to stop the counter.
And that's one of the things, Danny, you were talking about changes when it comes to the defenders, how fast they are. When you talk about those deep throw-ins late in your opponent's half, that's where those new extra long throw-ins are coming in, like the likes of Dalton United. They have that utility.
Yeah, that's right. Just one of those little marginal things that can be much more than marginal in matches like this. Let's see about this. Well, an interesting effort. Never likely to find the target, but you might as well from there.
Like I said, Sumo always wants to take it with his left. That one, he's sending that one, trying to get it to Noonan.
So now Legends in the attacking half. They're moving forward with a bit of intent. Suka sends it forward. It's a perfectly placed ball. And Ramili has it. His cross is blocked. Deflected only as far as Anderson. We'll try again. Play it backwards in the end. Burgos for Calado. Solid turn. Suko, who's looked bright at times, goes down. It was a legal challenge, says the referee. And Kalonji can break. Only for a moment as Calado clears. And Kalonji will have possession once again, and they'll go back to this patient possession. It suits them. The Legends are starting to create a little bit more. They've ventured forward a couple of times now in the past couple of minutes. More promising from the home side today. In the meantime, Kalonji continue to do what they do best. And that is run the show. From the left corner flag, it went out of play. Legends have possession by virtue of a throw-in.
And you see just how professional Kalonji is. They do not get phased when a ball is in their half. They just stand up, the Legends player, win the ball, send it forward.
Yeah, that's right. And positionally, they don't get sucked in either. They maintain their spot, their zone defensively. They understand each other. Almost without communicating, you can tell these guys have, on the whole, played with each other for many years. They know each other's tendencies, advantages, disadvantages, and it could be a 2-goal advantage here. It's a golden chance, but Legends scramble it away. Fantastic defending at the very last possible moment. And the clearance will force Kalonji to start over. Well, that really could have been 2, but hard to say it was a missed chance. Legends just rising to the occasion.
Great push out by the keeper.
Kalonji on the ball again. There's space to shoot, and another fantastic intervention. It is once again Simon Nix who makes the play. Let's go back to the previous effort. And that is a fantastic paw to get it away. Defenders in front of him did their job, and then the more recent opportunity, sprawling save, Nix has been up to the task.
We'll take a look at that second opportunity after this corner.
The action just keeps coming thick and fast. Another corner here. It's well placed once again, but a Legends head gets it out, and let's go back as promised to that previous chance. This is exactly what you want to do in this type of space.
Gets low and just pushes it wide.
That's exactly what you want your attacker to do if you're Kalonji, and the goalkeeper just made a better play. Back into their own half, and it's Kalonji's keeper with a touch. Mostly uneventful first half for Henry Plates. And that'll suit him just fine.
And Danny, Legends, even though they are down 1 for that fluke goal, they have held off every attack of Kalonji so far in these 40 minutes.
Well, the Manchester City comparison just continues to ring true for me for Kalonji. I don't know, Larry, if you were able to watch. I know you had a busy morning getting out there to LaGrange, but if you were able to watch the Nottingham Forest and Man City match earlier today, it felt a lot like this. Man City got a goal on a corner in the first half of that match, fairly early on. And from there, they were just able to play their brand of football, but it never felt like Forest were out of it. Never felt like they weren't creating chances at times, defending really well. A good performance despite being the 1 goal down, and that 1 goal happened to be fairly fluky. It feels a lot like this contest so far. Kalonji searching for 2. 5 minutes plus an expected couple more, maybe 3 in stoppage. Other than that hydration break at minute 25, we didn't have a whole lot of stoppages of note. This will be a slight delay as we check on the welfare of Simon Nix.
Yeah, just a little bit of a touch from the striker. And to answer that question that you asked, Danny, Manchester is red for me.
Understandable. And listen, I would love to see a little bit of a change up and see Arsenal win the title this season. That will be quite the title race. Although, what's a 2-man title race when you've got a 6 or 7 team title race here in the Premier Division? Could go one of so many different ways.
I have to say, this is probably the tightest run, even though we're in the midway point. But this is like as tight can be in the Georgia division.
Such a small margin for error when so many teams are playing their best football this early on in the season. It was late season form really from the beginning. A couple of additions to the league have been very, very impressive. I think of Georgia Revolution coming from McDonough, who have been a presence in local soccer in Atlanta for years and years. Here's a chance. It's a beautiful unselfish pass and just dribbled into the net for goal number 2. Kalonji have doubled their advantage just on the stroke of halftime.
And Danny, this is just clearly the defender caught watching the ball, slowly coming back, doesn't see the run, and it's just an easy tap in for Kalonji profile to go up 2-0.
Nothing Nix was going to do in the Legends goal. Like you say, defenders caught sleeping, and Kalonji will happily pounce on the chance. They lead by 2-0 away from home, and that makes a really big difference, you feel, in the way that these two teams will go into the halftime team talk. If it does stay at 2-0 in these last few minutes, that's a huge difference. Not just the 1 goal on the board, but just the feeling for both these teams. Kalonji, I think, will feel a lot better about a 2-goal advantage. They probably should be up by multiple goals. The way that the match has gone, how much control they've had. Now you don't feel quite as bad as squandering 1 or 2 of those chances. And for Legends, you felt really good, I think, about only giving up that 1 strange and impressive goal from Tiente. Being only down a goal, now being down 2, it just feels that much harder of a lead to come back from. Kalonji continue to kick the ball about. Plenty of confidence from them, and even when they do make mistakes on the ball as they did there, they're quick to win it back. Tough combo to combat. Now a run down the right side. Potential for Sumo to cross centrally. He does so. Shot from long distance, another sprawling stop from Nick, and it had to be perfect. Indeed it was. And so we go to the 45th minute, a corner kick to come. Kalonji searching for the third. A cross comes in, and there's a player at the back post. It's missed completely. Another golden chance. Kalonji still up by multiple goals, but it really could have been a trio.
Yeah, Danny, you look at this ball here, quickly thrown in, or corner, I'm sorry, taken short, and this ball lifted into the back post. Grant Carr right there, he just cannot get a touch on it. That would have been easily slotted in for 3.
And if you thought that Kalonji would be happy up by 2, well, imagine how they'd feel. 3 ahead. It is a sparse bench today. That'll be something to keep in mind as the second half progresses. Just a couple of guys there on the sideline. And of course, it's also a sideline that's still missing its head coach. It's a great ball slipped through. Offside is the decision. It was awfully close. Would love to see it again.
That one will be a hard one to catch because of the transition of the camera.
Right.
But he was, and that's one thing that Sumo is known to do, is just drift off sides a little bit as the game goes on, because he gets, very antsy to get those goals. Once they go up a couple, he wants to get more, like you were just saying.
Long ball from Legends, and didn't quite materialize the way they wanted. A chance to say thank you to sponsors of Legends FC, Southeast Restoration, Advantage Roofing, Beacon Brewing, Mike Patton Auto, and Oak Ridge Insurance. All corporate partners of Legends FC. Club that has definitely made its mark in the local community. And we've seen clubs in local towns in this area of Georgia tend to do well. I think of Georgia Storm in Carrollton as well, not far away. And of course, all around the Atlanta Metro, plenty of successful clubs at this sort of level to look at. And meanwhile, away go Kalonji. Sumo searching. Lost out. There were a couple of players there. Classic defending from Legends, and they come the other direction. Not much time remaining. We're into stoppage in the 2nd minute and nearing the 3rd. Kalonji right back on the ball. Switch to the left, and there's space, and there's personnel. Cross coming in, and there was space, but there was no finishing touch. We stay at 2-0.
That's probably the easiest control the keeper's made in a while.
And it's the final control of the first half. We go into the break with a Kalonji lead by a score of 2-0. Legends FC have been involved, but they have failed to find the back of the net, and it's always a tough ask keeping Kalonji off the board for too long a period of time. Again, 2-0 is the Kalonji lead away from home. Halftime analysis and, of course, the second half of action is all coming up. You're watching ASMG TV.
Hey coach, is your game going to be live streamed? Can't find a broadcast partner? I have the solution for you. It's time to contact the Atlantic Soccer Media Group. The Atlantic Soccer Media Group will provide you with the most extensive live coverage and affordable rates to bring your club's matches to your fans. So they will never miss any of the action.
Good ball laid off to that far side. Shot ripped. It's in! Dalton United at the death of the game! They go ahead, and this stadium is sent to raptures!
And bring them along with you as you raise the trophy.
Gentlemen, say it with them. They are the champions.
So what are you waiting for the best and easiest coverage, national exposure, attract sponsors, interact with your fans, work with scouts from around the world? Contact the Atlantic Soccer. Hey coach, is your game going to be live streamed? Can't find a broadcast partner? I have the solution for you. It's time to contact the Atlantic Soccer Media Group. The Atlantic Soccer Media Group will provide you with the most extensive live coverage and affordable rates to bring your club's matches to your fans. so they will never miss any of the action.
Good ball laid off to that far side. Shot ripped. It's in! Dalton United at the death of the game! They go ahead, and this stadium is sent to raptures.
And bring them along with you as you raise the trophy.
Gentlemen, say it with them. They are the champions.
So what are you waiting for? For the best and easiest coverage, national exposure, attract sponsors, interact with your fans, work with scouts from around the world? Contact the Atlantic Soccer.
Welcome back here to Callaway Stadium on the campus of LaGrange College. Thank you for joining us here on ASMG TV for ASMG's UPSL Georgia Premier Division coverage. Kalonji profile with a 2-0 lead over home team Legends FC. Take a look at the fixtures from this week. You can see that yesterday, FC Atlanta beating North Georgia 5-3. Atlanta United Academy winning 3-1 over Georgia Revolution. That Dalton United and SSL match getting postponed. Atlanta City coming from behind 3-0 to make it 3-3 draw, only losing late to UMA 4-3. As we stand right now, 2-0 with Kalonji over Legends FC. And Georgia Athletic SC and FC Birmingham, they just recently got underway over at Bay Creek. That match will be on demand on ASMG YouTube channel in the coming days. Watch for that. We take a look at what will be the case for next week. See that next Saturday, we are a chock-a-block full of matches. Atlanta United Academy welcoming UMAFC, SSLFC welcoming Legends FC. So this is really two Kalonji teams that Legends are going to have to face back to back. FC Birmingham welcoming Potros FC over to Lawson Stadium. North Georgia United, they're welcoming Georgia Athletic SC. And Kalonji per profile at 7:30, they are going to be welcoming Atlanta City FC. That should be a banger of a match. Sunday, Georgia Athletic SC, they are going to have back-to-back matches. They're going to welcome Dalton United. So it is going to be a all-around jam-packed weekend next weekend as we get ready to put on a second half here at Callaway Stadium. The referees just coming out to get us caught up and underway. That gives us an opportunity to bring back the voice of today's match, Danny Catula.
Welcome back, everyone. 2-0, as you see on the bottom of your screen. And Larry, appreciate you getting us caught up with what's going on around the league. The league table continues to excite us, confuse us at times. There's teams we expect to be at the top of the pile that for the moment are not. Teams who currently struggle at the bottom of the table who we expected to be more in the middle of things. And I think when it comes to Kalonji, you see them right there in sixth, We would have expected them to be a little bit higher up. A 3-point performance today, which is what they'll get as it stands right now, would put them only one spot higher, but Larry just right there in the mix. It would feel a lot more attainable to get back up there to 1 and 2 where they expect to be every season.
Well, and I think Kalonji Pro Profile has learned from their mistakes over previous seasons where they had a tendency to have games in hand as the season was going along, and they would have to make up a few matches late in the season. And that really came to haunt them in the fall season, and they lost several matches late in the season that were all makeups. So I think that's one of the things that the Kalonji staff learned that they need to not do this season.
Yeah, that's right. If you're able to hear that over the train in the background there at Callaway, it's well said. Um, there's a lot to learn from, even for a team that knows so much about this league and has been around almost since the inception of it. And for Legends, a very different type of side. They're fairly new to the league, only been around a couple of seasons, and I think whereas Kalonji are a bit lower in the standings than they would have liked to be, for Legends, it's been a pretty successful season, even if they aren't able to come away with anything in the second half. They have played good football across the season, and they're still very much in contention for one of those 6 playoff spots. If they are to turn things around in this second half, though, and find a point out of just this match, I think it's going to have to come from the attacking side of things. If in midfield they can start to win some of those battles a little bit more, win the 50-50 balls, and more than anything, press the issue and force Kalonji into mistakes, that's where they'll start to have their chances in front of goal.
Yeah, Legends FC is still a team that is still trying to find their identity, and they really need to start to get some consecutive progress. You know, they need to get possession moving. They need to get some goals in consecutive matches. They need to get some shutouts. They need to get all around. And I think Coach Wozniak is going to need to make some wholesale changes in this second half to get them in a positive manner.
Let's see if they can make it happen. They are on their home grounds here at Callaway Stadium in LaGrange. And we are just about ready for the second 45 minutes of action to commence. Referee blows his whistle. Second half begins. Kalonji kicking things off there in the all whites. Again, that's been a bit of a story today. They don't have the typical jerseys that they would wear, but they're wearing what's available to them. And it hasn't hindered them much. They're immediately forward here with a chance. And nothing will quite come of it. Trying to get a shot on target there within about 20 seconds. Even for them, that would have been quick. They do already have that 2-goal advantage, of course. For Legends FC in the first half, strong showing from some of their outside players. In midfield, Suka at times looked very good. It'll have to be a more complete performance from them, though, if they're able to get anything out of today. And they will try and break forward with a few down this left side. Advance through the center and nothing else doing. Kalonji, as they so often do, get plenty of players around the ball and win it back. Down the left edge. More patience from the visitors. Excellent switch of play. Taken down from the right. The shimmy. Centered. And they'll start over. Now probing down this left side. Just exploring what could be on offer here. And they could do that, Kalonji. They are not under any sort of pressure to really go for this with abandon. They can take their time. They can be patient. They can be pragmatic about things. It's a situation they built up for themselves in the first 45. And again, just like the first half, it's a splitting image. So much space here in this area of the park. Everybody for Kalonji is across midfield, and even then, there's not a whole lot of pressure. Another great switch of play. It's a little bit deep. And in the end, it was saved from going over the goal line. This will be a throw for Legends. Kalonji, I mean, tactically, why change anything when the first half went as well as it did for them? Not just on the scoreboard, but with the way that things took place, it all felt very under control for Kalonji. They had a pulse on everything that took place. And they haven't changed much. It's this patient passing as they build up, and one or two quick looks up, long balls, clever runs in. It looks a lot like the first half did, and with good reason. Now from the left, across comes in, deflected behind. We've got the first corner kick of half number 2.
Danny, right now,
yeah,
Kalonji just picking up right where they left off.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Interesting piece of that first half, Larry, was these corner kicks. We saw some excellent services in and just no ability to finish. We'll see if Kalonji can change that second portion of the corner this time. And it goes back post, another good service, and another lack of finishing. That's been the story. Of course, they still lead by the 2 goals from open play. And this one leaves the field of play for a Kalonji throw-in. Yeah, like you said, Larry, just trying to pick up where they left off in half number 1. I think they've done that in these first 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, need to see a little bit more fire out of Legends FC. They're just allowing Kalonji to have their way on the pitch.
And again, there's a lot of space when these switches of play are made. That time it wasn't fully taken advantage of. A heavy touch as he tried to take it down. So Legends get the ball by virtue of that mistake on the ball. But it's about what they can do with it once they get in these sorts of areas. These situations don't happen too often. Really able to hold on to possession. Play it backwards. Now it's Jacob Ilmer. Ilmer loses out. So many physical, not only pacey, but just strong players in white for Kalonji. So hard to imagine how you can consistently keep the ball against a team like this. It's 11 guys out there who are just physically mostly faster and stronger than their opponents today. Legends have put up a valiant fight so far, but struggling to find their way back into the game. Haven't had many answers for the physicality of Kalonji yet. Could they be forming an answer here, though? Boyd with a couple of touches. Played out to the right. Ilmer again. Jacob Ilmer still with it. Plays it through, and it got all the way to the left wing, but nothing of interest happening over there. Back with Kalonji then. So many numbers around the ball. The long ball has been on the wing all day long. Suma will have a hit and it's wide. But that's the type of effort that he'll be happy to take all afternoon long when they give him that sort of space. In the meantime, first change of the day. In fact, it'll be a change on each side, it appears.
Looks like Kamani Irving is going to be coming on for Kalonji profile.
One of the better players in this league. Definitely a luxury for Kalonji to be able to bring someone like him off the bench. And
57 is going to be done for Legends. He's going to be replaced by Estes, number 20, who is player slash coach. Also another substitution coming on. Looks like Boyd's day is done. He's being replaced by, looks like number 16.
So the changes then. We see Jacob Boyd and Jacob Ilner leave the pitch. See if the substitutes can cause enough chaos to change this game.
And
The extra entry.
a player that I love to see of Legends, number 20, Brantley Estes. He's a player slash coach. He is the heart of this squad.
Certainly the type of guy that you want in the team at this stage of the match and in this situation. We'll see if his involvement is sufficiently serviceable to the side at home today. They'll need some extra heart, some extra intentionality as well to turn this around. From the right wing, Kalonji creating as always, ball given away. And can they use the fresh legs, Legends now? Now they've given it up again. And so it's Estes, and the number 16 is Adedeji. Those are the two who have come on for Legends, and you saw a shot there from the left wing. It was invalidated due to the offside flag going up, so Legends will have a goal kick rather than conceding a corner. Larry, it does seem like the right moment to bring in a guy like Estes. A player coach, as you mentioned, somebody who can come on with this extra bit of leadership and galvanize the team.
We
To
can
have
already
him on the
see
pitch
it.
makes a difference.
Yeah, you can already see it on the pitch. He's out there commanding guys into position. The other thing that they need to start doing, Legends need to start cutting off passing lanes.
It has been a bit too easy at the moment for Kalonji as this second half has gotten underway. These first 10 minutes, Kalonji have played the ball where and when they want to. Imagine that's a big part of what Estes is telling these guys. Got to make sure it can't be that simple for them. Kalonji continuing to press, and they will win themselves an attacking throw-in.
And that's another thing, Danny. If Legends don't have any fight in them, that just allows Kalonji to get more aggressive.
That's right, and it's been the way that this match has gone up to now. The Legends have not put up much of an attacking fight to just kind of press Kalonji's buttons, see if they can squeeze out some errors. They've opted for a more cautious approach.
And so far, no plastic issued on either side.
That's right. No cards to speak of. Really not many fouls. It's been a clean game on both ends. Pretty fluid, and I think that favors Kalonji. This one will be blasted through the football uprights. American football, that is. Doesn't count for anything, of course, in this flavor of football.
Chupa Cameron would want this one back. You can see here, Tiente with a beautiful pass to him. Turned, he's at the top of the box, and he just puts way too much effort behind it. Sends that ball into the rafters.
And I think it's the shot you want to take. I don't disagree with the shot selection, Larry. It's just the execution, I think, there.
Yeah, he just didn't get his body in position like he should have.
One of those underrated aspects of striking a ball cleanly. Your body positioning as you hit it. Maybe another chance, though, quickly for Kalonji. It's really well defended. Foul given away on Kalonji. defensively excellent intervention. Might have been Griffin Montroy over there on the right.
You know, go back to that shot, Danny. We used to always train young players in the youth system that if your backside goes closer to the ground, that ball's going to go higher in the air. So you need to have that position more square to that frame of the goal.
Could have made all the difference on that previous chance for Kalonji, and well, it looked promising.
You see
for
Brantley
Legends.
winning a foul right there.
Probably a good foul to give up if you're Kalonji, just because I was bouncing in a fairly dangerous area. Legends could have been off to the races. Instead, they do have a free kick, but from a decent distance out.
Give or take, what, 40, 45?
Yeah, about 40, I would think. Let's see what they can do from here. Ball comes in, couple of harmless bounces. Leites will be pleased with that.
It was a good ball in. It just, the Legends player just didn't track the ball properly.
That's been the situation on both sides, really, with set pieces. Many, many chances, mostly for Kalonji. No goals.
That's when you need a player, someone in the Atlanta City's Terry Jules, who's pushing well over 6.5 foot.
Yeah, that height makes such a difference in those scenarios. Here come Kalonji. They have plenty of numbers. The switch is on as well, but it looks like he'll go himself. There's space to shoot from here. The cutback. And the ball is dispossessed. Legends get away with one. They'll try and counter. Kalonji, as they always do, will try and just win the ball right back. That's exactly what they've done. A throw in to come, but probably should have been goal number 3.
And Danny, that's always been the one soft spot when it comes to Sumo's game is his footwork. He's got great pace. He's got great body posture. He's an all-around great player. It's just that getting the ball out of his feet, that's the one point he needs to work on.
A good turn and a great ball through. Nearly the finish. Brave goalkeeping from Mitch. With half an hour left to play, somewhere around there. And it's still the 2-goal advantage that Kalonji took into halftime that they maintain for now. Legends, to their credit, seem to be taking matters into their own hands a bit more, committing more numbers forward. This is the most pressure we've seen from them all day long. And we've talked about it, trying to force Kalonji into instrumenting their own demise. The Legends still yet to find the goal that would make this insurmountable lead much more surmountable. Time and space, perfect pass picked out. Seconds belong to Legends and they clear. Still a lot of space, and it's just being picked apart by Kalonji. Excellent defending, the intervention exactly what was required. Legends in the other direction. They want a foul, and they get one. Kalonji not pleased. It was a little late, but it did seem like there was contact from behind.
Slight contact, but contact enough. It just held up the run of the player. Good call by the center official.
Now can Legends take advantage? There's players there, but none who are skilled enough to stop this Kalonji defense. The attack stopped in its tracks. Here go the visitors. It's a good ball through and an important interception that time. From the left back. And away go Legends again. They've lost the ball almost immediately.
Just slow play there by number 2, Anderson, allowing Kalonji to win that ball off of him.
Kalonji, the counterattack pillars. concede a foul this time.
Yeah, it looks like Grant's going to get a yellow for that one. A little bit of retaliation. Newly entered Adedeji winning the ball off of him, and then just a retaliation tackle.
Grant Carr, maybe a bit overambitious, as you said, trying to make up for the loss of possession, and it is the first disciplinary action of the day. Carr goes in the referee's book, and he does receive a yellow card, first one on either side.
And Danny, just like we talked about last night, if this gets into the 70th minute, that's going to make Legends FC get a little bit more desperate. We had a substitution come on for Kalonji. Number 22 came off. Unfortunately, we don't have any type of.
Yeah, no roster.
23 came off, 22 came on. We don't have any type of documentation today.
None whatsoever.
And I know a lot of the Kalonji Purple players, but 22, I can tell you that Camden came off, but who came on for him, I cannot tell you.
Well, Larry, if you don't know, then nobody does.
Yeah.
You are one of the foremost experts of this division. It's been that way for many years. Exactly the type of person who makes broadcasts like these so much better. Always a plus of the English broadcasts I get to do with ASMG. You get to hop on and be a part of them.
Yeah, you're on your own when it comes to Spanish.
Well, and given all the statistical errors I've made today that you've had to correct me on, I'd start to wonder exactly how accurate those Spanish broadcasts are. It's a free kick at midfield. As Kalonji will be held up from taking it quickly. And the referee opting for a ceremonial free kick instead, and he does that just to
have
converse a bit.
Little talking to Brantley. He was very vocal and very passionate about that. We have another substitution coming on for Legends FC. 52's day is done. He is being replaced on that back line. Let's see if I can see who it was that came on for him.
It's Ivan Vital who left in the 52, as you said, Larry.
Looks like 45 who's came on.
So you take off a defensive player, Larry. But you bring on maybe a more attacking option, I think.
Fletcher Clifford is more of an attacking defender.
It makes a lot of sense at this stage in the match. Being down the 2 goals, you don't want to abandon ship completely and bring on an attack for a defensive option. You want to go like for like as much as you can, keep your shape, but somebody who can contribute a little bit more to the attacking side of things certainly helps. Good ball over the top. It's a brilliant run as well. The cross could be on. It's laid off and maybe just didn't have the pace that was needed. Legends able to pounce defensively. This has been about the best defensive performance I've seen all season, conceding 2 goals. It's the type of performance that against most other teams in the league would deserve a clean sheet. Kalonji, just a different animal.
And this is one of those situations. Coach Wozniak has the 7 substitutions. He needs to utilize them, use that youth and that pace against this veteran Kalonji squad.
Well, that's a decent chance. It's fashioned down that right wing, but not a whole lot in terms of the angle. Did get a shot away, but couldn't keep it on frame.
You see they're trying to work around Grant Carr and ends up skying it through the American football uprights.
Second time we've seen that in the second half.
But you're starting to see a little bit more fight in Legends FC. Could it be too little too late?
Well, there's still plenty of time, and really any amount of time is plenty of time. With the way things go in this division, chaos is the standard.
Well, like I said last night, Atlanta City, they were down at 3 And after the 70th minute, they put 3 on the board to get a draw, only to lose it late with that penalty. And that should be a yellow for Anthony Sumo for kicking the ball away. Indeed, it is.
Yep, correct decision. Left the referee no choice, so 2 yellows now administered to Kalonji players. And you talked about the advantage that Legends have with a much deeper bench to call upon. That's another thing that could hurt Kalonji down the stretch, is guys with yellow cards being unable to be substituted off, and they'll just have to walk on thin ice for a while.
Indeed, right now, Kalonji has utilized their entire bench. And still several players for Coach Wozniak just waiting to come on.
The fresh legs could have something to do with the way this finishes. In the meantime, Legends creating as much as they have all match long. They win a corner as a result. The crowd's starting to get into it as well. They're in full voice.
Yeah, they're starting to feel it now.
The corner to come. Tomas Calado, it's long, but it does find a player in blue, and a shot out of nowhere. Was a solid effort from that sort of distance, and it deflects away. We have another corner.
Get to do it all over again. See if this time he could just get a little bit off. Take about 15% off the shot.
Yeah, and I think just on the corner kick itself, taking 15% off would help as well. Calado, service again. Right to that same spot, actually.
Brantley got up. He just couldn't get that on frame.
And now Kalonji coming quickly. They'll give the ball away. As strange as it is to say, if there is a part of Kalonji's attack that isn't their strong suit, or hasn't been today anyway, it's that counterattack.
And a foul is going to be issued to Grant Carr for that foul.
Already on a yellow.
And it's saying it came over the top, and that's why he gave the yellow, or gave the foul. No card there, but he gave the foul for coming over top.
And he'll have to be a bit careful and not want something like accumulation of fouls to result in a second yellow. We've passed the 70-minute mark, and Legends are challenging as much as they have all match long. But they just have
Estes got a head on it, and then everyone just went away and allowed Henry to just take a few seconds off the clock.
Unable to unlock the key so far, Legends. They need 2. And in the meantime, Kalonji are coming. Foul from behind. It's a free kick for the visitors, and the Cards are coming out in full force now. Austin Anderson, the latest to go in the book.
And Danny, just something I enjoy to catch. You know, 2 teams that are big rivals down here in the Southwest region is Legends FC and UMA FC. And you can see a couple players from UMA, you know, they've already played Legends this season, but they just happen to be up in the stands watching this match.
Very interesting. See how much it means even to teams who are not involved in the proceedings today. This is solid work down the left side. Continued dribbling, posing a threat. Could a shot come away? It is collective defending for Legends, and it could turn into attack. There's not many players back for Kalonji. They look a bit tired. Here come Legends. Could the cross come in? No, will go himself. Blakes makes the point-blank save. We stay at 2-0, but not for lack of trying for Legends. Now they'll get a free kick. The player remains on the ground. Doesn't look like any cards will come out at the moment.
Kamani Irving goes down with that Estes attack. You take a look at this chance by Estes. Great counter for Legends FC receives the ball deep in his own half, makes the run by himself, works around Kamani. Great save. You got to remember, yes, you were saying that some of the Kalonji players are starting to weaken, but you still have a keeper at the quality of Henry Playtez back there between the posts.
Yeah, that's right. And he's been the least busy guy on the pitch today. I don't think he'll be particularly affected by the fatigue like those defenders will. I think that could be a problem that Kalonji faces. They'd have no more changes to make the way I understand it. And those back line members have done a lot of running in the past 15 or 20 minutes.
And to answer that little conversation we were having just a minute ago about UMA, yes, they've played Legends FC already, but they're going to welcome Kalonji Pro Profile back here at Callaway Stadium on May 24th. So they're just doing a little bit of pre-scouting on Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yeah, you might as well, right? You got the opportunity in your neck of the woods to see a team that you'll play later on. Smart decision to just get some scouting done. Yeah, that's a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon anyway. Go out and catch some football.
I can see UMA's coach, Coach Andrew Jew, sitting over there in the stands, just watching. And they've done a fantastic job this spring season. Struggled in the fall because, a lot of their star players went off to college. But this spring season, they have really done very well. Very impressed with their results so far this season.
That has been an impressive season. One of the teams there at the top of the table. Maybe the biggest surprise of the three. It's only on goal differential that they're not at the top of the table at the moment. It currently belongs to Dalton United and Potros FC. Sandwich between the two of them.
Another team that's been very impressive since they came back to the UPSL after taking a season off, Potros FC. They have really looked professional.
They have risen to the next level in quality and professionalism. One of the model clubs in this division. Really just a couple of years ago, just 3 or 4 years back, they were one of these brand new teams to the division, finding their footing, coming up from the ADASL. They have really found a home in the UPSL, especially now that they've come back for the second round.
Christopher Uranga and his squad, his staff, they've done a sensational job with that group.
One of many that always tends to impress us. Potros even more so than most. 76th minute here. I think it's definitely a footprint when you look at Potros that Legends FC are trying to match or even best over time. Feels like a similar club, just in a different area of the Atlanta Metro here in LaGrange, trying to establish their footing, become a member of the community, and really involve themselves. Get the local fan base involved as well. Exciting potential for what's going on here at Legends FC. Seems to be doing all the right things. The on-field product has grown significantly as time has gone on. Maybe as good a time as ever to remind you of Legends FC's sponsors for the season. Southeast Restoration, Advantage Roofing, Beacon Brewing, Mike Patton Auto, and Oak Bridge Insurance.
Here is that last substitution that Kalonji Pro Profile has. Tachi's day is done. Defender, he's being replaced.
And the defensive substitution for any side leading by 2 goals with 15 minutes left to hold on to it makes a lot of sense, but especially in this sort of scenario where Kalonji's defenders just seem a bit gassed and Legends are more active than they have been all day. Makes a ton of sense to make a defensive change. Kalonji now attacking again, as they always tend to be. And they have earned a corner. And they will take their time, understandably, to get this back into play. And it goes, it's played back a little bit. Maybe a shot from distance. It is! And a gorgeous save! Among many fantastic stops, that's probably the best of the afternoon for Simon Nix. Pick that save out of the top drawer.
And that shot be taken by the newly entered number 13 that just came in for Kalonji Pro Profile. Just one-time shot that. That was a great save.
Now, what an entrance to the match that is. Bouncing around in there, cleared away for now. Kalonji will recycle, though. Now Legends trying to counter. Will win a throw-in. They continue to attack here, looking around for options. Nothing there. Kalonji trying to break. And they've got space. They've got the opportunity. But it is offside.
As we enter the 80th minute, Danny, this is where we start to get into what I call the frustration zone for Legends FC. You know, they are doing everything they can to get to the goal. They're just not able to do it. Start to get frustrated. That's when fouls and cards start to come out.
That's right. Both sides will just have to maintain their composure. Time in the match where cooler heads tend not to prevail. '81st minute of play here, and how about this? Best chance of the day for Legends, and they convert it into goal number 1. And hold on a minute, because this one's not done by any stretch. Legends have one back.
And who is it? Nothing more than number 20, Brantley Estes. Look at this, the heart and soul of this team. Takes it through, gets past the 2 defenders, and slots it past Henry for the goal for the home squad.
Well, that really just changes the complexion of these last 10 minutes. Kalonji, you feel, will go for it a bit more, try to grab a 3rd goal. It's not really in their DNA to try to hold on to a lead, and they're one of those that tend to see attack as the best form of defense. I think we'll see them open this back up a little more, and Legends will just have that little glimmer of hope that allows them to carry on and put that much effort into these final 10. A very exciting goal from a neutral perspective. And of course, the home fans here for Legends will be quite pleased. Henry Playtest, I think, if you go back to that goal, probably should have gotten a stronger hand to it. Maybe in a better moment of his, he keeps that one out. But you can't take anything away from the goal by Estes. And now he's won the ball back. It's clean, says the referee. He continues to go. He is pushed over just outside the box. So now another chance in quick succession. Let's see it again.
Yeah, you see, he just has that fire. He has that determination to take this team on his own. Pushes the press, gets the ball back, fights it off, earns the foul right at the top of the box.
And it's textbook from Estes. And now we go to a dangerous free kick, potentially deadly for Kalonji. 2 around it. Take it, and playtest is equal to the efforts. It is out for a Legends throw-in.
Good shot on frame.
All you can ask for from there. In comes the long throw, right into the box. Headed away for now. But not completely cleared. Right back to Legends. They have possession again. It's a quick throw, trying to take advantage. They sense that second goal is coming.
Not able to keep that in.
And they're working hard for it, but they'll have to be as clinical as possible. They win the ball back again. And this will be a free kick. Referee decided that there wasn't any advantage to be played. They were kind of going in the opposite direction. And coming from behind, I don't think he saw him. Kalonji win the ball back. Advantageous.
Yeah, Sumo doing to Legends what they just did to them.
And good defending results in perhaps an injury. And he went down immediately on the Legends back line. So we got a view of who that is.
Yeah, that's newly entered Fletcher Clifford putting his body on the line.
Yeah, Clifford sacrificing himself. Just hope he's all right. Obviously, one of the last guys you would want to have to take off if you're Legends, just because he was clearly a part of the plans for these final 5 to 10 minutes.
You see this ball here. Sumo's able to get it forward and just kind of clatters in. A little bit of I think he collided his head. That was the biggest worry there.
He just kind of spun around awkwardly. Strange ending to that move. Well, you imagine he'll come off at least for a moment, and the decision that Legends will have to make is, do we replace him or give him a moment to recover? In the meantime, that was the chance that Legends had to equalize this thing. Remember, just 4 minutes back, this is a 2-0 lead for Kalonji.
And we're sitting at 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. I think we would see maybe 3 minutes.
Probably not much more.
We've had substitutions. And, of course, the goal from Legends. So we'll see what the fourth official tries to show us.
5 minutes until the 90, and then at the fourth official's mercy for anything more than that. Here we've got an offside decision.
Yeah, the player coming back from an offside position. A little bit of a slow response between the officiating squad getting that information to the center official.
Yeah, I think the center referee at certain times when a ball is played through and it's an attacking opportunity is looking for the offside flag, and in other moments like that one, it's not really first on his mind. Doesn't see the raised flag until later.
Fletcher Clifford's back on the pitch.
Good to see. So he re-enters and will presumably be able to finish out these last remaining minutes.
A few Legends players still warming up for an opportunity to get in. See what Coach Wozniak decides.
We're going to make a move. Now seems like the time. In the meantime, Kalonji could really put it away with a nail in the coffin sort of third goal. They'll win a free kick here. Probably not scoring distance. I think this is more of a let's hold possession sort of free kick. You'd imagine, at least.
Yeah, I think Kalonji just needed to slow this down.
Well, that's not what they had in mind. Ball given away. Legends in the other direction. And this move looked very promising until a foul from behind. And surely that will be yellow card administered, I would have thought.
I would have thought the same thing, Danny, but no card issued to Kamani Irving for that tackle.
Not one of the guys who was already on a yellow, to my knowledge, and so not the biggest of controversies. Meanwhile, the free kick is headed away. Kalonji can't fully clear. Bodies just flying around in blue for Legends. They are going after this one. You can tell how much they want it. Their home crowd are egging them on here. And
Finally,
have a time to just let some time roll off the clock, Larry.
yeah, finally got that another slow delayed response between the center official and the AR.
Lots of space out here. Well, there's no offside flag here, despite some people who wanted it. Shot comes in, and it's team anyway. Simple work. And going the other direction, it's going to fall on the second opportunity to Legends. Can they get forward? This is a good touch. And the run continues down the right side. Given away, but it falls to the top of the box. Ramili. His shot's blocked. Follow-up is a foul. Looked like it was on Estes.
Yeah, Estes is, again, trying to move that. He was trying to move Kevin Diaz. Gets the foul.
Unfortunate timing for that, just because not only a giveaway of possession, it's a chance for Kalonji to let this clock continue to bleed. They're back in there. Patented possession. Push, but legal, says the referee. Down the left wing. Irving's there to get it out. He's got it again. Further up the line, it's out of play. Legends to throw. 20 seconds of regulation, and then whatever we had added. That was not what Legends would have hoped for from that close of a distance. 90 minutes all but complete. Kalonji just have to hold on through stoppage time. Did not feel like a match they'd have to hold on and just scrape a result out from, but that's the way that things have gone in the second half. Legends, a really good showing for themselves. In the corner, a chance to waste some time perhaps, but the ball given away. Legends can try and break. They do have some numbers. Estes couldn't get it out from under his feet. And it is a Legends throw though. Going in square. Couple of touches from Ramili. He's fouled. Free kick to Legends. You see it on your screen. It's 4 added minutes. We've played almost 1. Crunch time now, Legends, with just 3 minutes to play with. Got to get a goal if they want anything from this home contest. Ball lofted in, headed away immediately. Right to a Kalonji player, chested down. They've got numbers forward. This is onside. Good cutback, and there's still players streaming forward in white. Legends reinforcements finally coming back, and they will win the ball back. Now they can try and go forward. Bring players up. Big challenge. And Legends will have to try again. Still plenty of time. But it's working against them as we speak. Nothing doing there. Estes chirping, wanted a foul, didn't get it. Kalonji still in possession. Taking as much time as they can. Estes throwing his body in the way, wants a foul, this time gets one. So now a free kick with less than 2 minutes left.
There's
Oh,
going to be a yellow card
a yellow.
from Descent.
I think it's a bit of gamesmanship too for Kalonji, knowing that's probably a yellow card you can take. Just those extra 5 or 10 seconds you can let run. The referee has a name in the book. They're precious.
And this is one of the things that Kalonji doesn't deal with a lot. They don't deal with a player like Estes who gets as aggressive with them as they do with everyone else.
93rd minute approaching the 94th. Long ball directly in. Back post. There's a player there. Sent across. And the equalizer's blocked. Kalonji cleared away. That was a golden chance. Legends just about had it. Kalonji streaming forward the other way. The ball sent through. One-on-one. Keeper's beaten. And it's hardly any effort. Kalonji have the third. And that's going to do it. Surely now. Kalonji pro profile at one end nearly give it up. And on the other end, show their quality. They're going to take all 3 points today.
And this looked like it was going to be an offsides call. All the Legends players gave up. And Sumo just easily just puts that in the back of the net and seals this victory for Kalonji pro profile.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm really surprised to see the reaction there from Simon Nix in goal. I mean, he just kind of stood there. Offside potential or no, that is surprising for me to see. So, well, it's a 2-goal deficit now, and it's all over anyway. Kalonji pro profile hold on, and they have the last laugh in a 3-1 victory over a resilient but frustrated Legends FC here at home. Kalonji pro profile with the 2-goal win. Larry, final thoughts?
A little too late for Legends FC. They started to show some real heart. Just a bad result on that last goal. I mean, it was really 2-1 in the end. I mean, they need to. I need to see what I saw in that last 20. I need to see that in the first 70. You know, they tried. They just need to go back and tool together. Need to be a little bit more communication between the lines, getting that ball forward. But they'll get back at it. Coach Wozniak will get them in, and we'll see where they can go. Right now, you look at where they're at in the table. If we can get the right one, excuse me. Talk about the leaderboard.
There we go.
With them being in 10th, I mean, they're still not in the relegation zone, but they're definitely at the lower bit. They need to move farther up in that table.
Yeah, but then you look at how far they could still continue to advance. Just one win puts them in the top 6 again. So that's how quickly things can change. For Kalonji, they will be happy to advance to 11 points, 2 points out of first place, and well on their way to finding themselves to the sort of position in the table that they expect to be in. That's what awaits us next week. Plenty of tasty fixtures on offer. Atlanta United Academy and UMA kicking things off, one of the better matches of the weekend. Kalonji Pro Profile are back in action. They return to their home venue to host Atlanta City FC. And then we'll see Legends going to SSL. That's the same venue, so a double header. Both these teams back in action, not against each other, but at the same venue. Legends at 5, Kalonji Pro Profile at home at 7:30. That does it for us. Thanks for being with us. For Larry Weaver, everybody here at Atlantic Soccer Media Group and ASMG TV, my name's Danny Catula. Saying thanks again for being with us. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.